Hey everyone, this is Mark, and today we're going to talk about the dark side of diet extremes. And yes, that is Jenny McCarthy in the picture. Recently, Jenny McCarthy did an interview where she talked about the fact that she had to stop her vegan lifestyle because it nearly led to her death. Her words. And talked about the fact that she had problems with the plant-based regime because it combined with her celiac disease, her dairy intolerance, and soy allergies, and almost killed her. Her words. Plant-based diets can be very problematic. Okay, uh, plant-based proteins are not good sources of protein, and eating purely plants reduces the amount of protein you get in the first place. There are dairy and soy allergies, which further restrict your options that can cause all kinds of problems. And there's all kinds of nutritional battlefields here where you don't get proper nutrition from plants. You really miss very key elements and vitamins. So plant-based diets are not necessarily all that appropriate for most people. What Jenny switched to is a carnivore diet, and carnivore diets eating once again nothing but meat and fish and eggs and stuff. Uh, and that's actually probably a better diet for her and for most people because it reduces inflammation, improves mental clarity, and provides a resolution of many chronic symptoms. Right? There are concerns about the carnivore diet that you will hear about. Uh, the gut microbiome. You're not getting fiber-rich plants. How can you have a good gut microbiome? Okay, increased kidney stone risk, right? Because you're eating all this protein. Potential cardiovascular risk because you're eating all this fat with all this cholesterol in it, and the absence of plant-based nutrients, especially phytonutrients, polyphenols, and antioxidants. However, all of these concerns are based on nutrition dogma and not on research science, and are anthropological evidence. They go against basic physiology, human intestinal design, and cellular biology. In other words, this is all bogus. Uh, None of these things have any validity. Okay? There is an evolutionary perspective to the carnivore diet. Because if you go on the carnivore diet or a very plant based heavy ketogenic diet, you'll see there's just numerous um, things that happen to your body that are beneficial to you. The thing with these diets is that if you look at the human system, it was designed to be carnivore, something I teach in my coaching program. It is you're better off eating this. You get better nutrition. It's a cleaner energy source. So remember, you weren't evolved or designed to eat plants, and especially grains and heavy carbohydrates. You were designed to eat mostly protein, fat, and maybe a few vegetables or in season fruits that you'd find. Think uh, another big thing you need to get into is this personalization. There is no such thing as one diet that fits everybody, right? And what you want to do is work on with somebody who can give you information on emerging research in nutrigenics, microbiome science, and individual dietary needs. That's very important. Once again, your doctor probably spends 5 to 10 minutes with you at most on a visit, and they don't have a lot of nutrition background to begin with. And your nutritionists, oh, there's a whole thing on why nutritionists don't know anything because they're trained by schools that are bought and paid for by nutrition companies or food companies like Pepsi and ConAgra, and you know what they're trying to push? They're trying to push buying their products. So you gotta be careful with that sort of stuff. Okay, there is a diet progression chart you want to talk about. Um, at one end, if you're really healthy, you can probably start at a paleo ancestral diet. This focuses on whole foods and resembles what our ancestors ate, right? If you're a little bit uh, problematic, you have some metabolic problems, the ketogenic diet probably does very well. It prioritizes low carbs and emphasizes enhancing fat and metabolic processes. Because if you have a little bit around your middle, you want to get rid of that. Nutrient dense meals would be the next place to go. This is very low carb meals, mostly animal based, but they're designed to prioritize your nutrition that you get from these animals, so cleanest fuel possible. Uh, a lot of people would call this ketovore. It's not necessarily carnivore, but it's very close to carnivore and a ketogenic diet combined. And finally, if you're really in a metabolic state and if you have all kinds of conditions, probably the best thing you do is go full carnivore, only animal-based meats. But that may be hard to do. There are variations on this, but the idea is that you progress away from carbs, and that's when your body gets healthy. Okay, so it's not about willpower. Willpower is the danger of eating the standard American diet and trying standard nutritional diets that tell you cut your carbs, increase your exercise, and you'll lose weight. It's completely contrary to the way your body works. Okay, that's why my metabolic health coaching program is different. You don't have to guess anymore. We provide you all the evidence, we provide you all the details, and we give you opportunities to ask and learn questions and study. So take a look at the Metabolic Health Coaching Program or sign up for my free daily newsletter and you'll get all kinds of information. Thank you very much.